If you asked me 10 years ago, I would have told you that the L-shaped kitchen made the most functional space, but I would have been wrong. I also would have told you that the OTR was a good idea. People make mistakes. The truth is, there's lots of layout options and all have their pros and cons. Hi, I'm Mark, a 20+ year kitchen design professional, and in this video, I'm going to show you the good and bad of some of the most popular kitchen layouts, and the never before named layout option that I think might actually be the most functional. Now, the aforementioned L-shaped kitchen layout is a great option for many spaces. One of the pros of this layout is it creates a natural flow for prep and cooking tasks. Yes, that's a classic kitchen triangle, and it works well in this layout. It creates both shared and dedicated landing surfaces, making the L-shaped kitchen easy to work in for many users. Having counter space on both your right and left side is quite convenient, especially when moving from the sink to the range or vice versa. And no matter the size of your kitchen, an L-shaped layout condenses your work zone, making it more efficient. And efficiency in a kitchen is vital as it saves you time and effort. Another great aspect of the L shape is its flexibility for adding an island or a peninsula. What I've seen in many renovations is the removal of an existing wall and adding an island to create an open concept design. Adding an island is on many homeowners' wish lists, and the L shape can allow for this easily. It adds extra countertop and storage and creates seating potential that many homeowners are looking for. And because the two walls can handle the triangle load, this leaves the island as an uninterrupted, glorious surface for prep and social purposes. If you're designing that big open concept kitchen with an island yet still want a functional, good flow, the L shape may be the best option. There are some potential problems with an L-shaped layout that should be mentioned. The biggest being the introduction of a corner. While many solutions exist to make corner cabinets accessible, some are better than others. They still remain a sore spot for many homeowners. Making them truly functional can cost more than most are willing to spend, and my solution for blocking them off gets met with hard resistance for those who are not wanting to waste any space. So my advice for anyone planning an L-shaped kitchen is to pay special attention to the corner to ensure you're getting exactly what you want and expect. Now, appliance placement can be an issue in smaller L-shaped designs, where appliance doors can interfere with each other or other cabinets. This is something to keep in mind when planning and is usually an issue with dishwashers and ranges being flanked on either side of a corner cabinet. While the open concept is still a thriving design choice, it's not for everyone. An open L kitchen may not be the best option for you if you want some post-pandemic separation in your home, or you just don't want to see all the mess all the time. The great thing about the L-shaped kitchen is that it works well in both closed and open spaces, and even small ones. If you'd like to take advantage of my 20-year experience in this industry and chat with me about your kitchen problems or project, my one-on-one consultation might be right for you. There's a link below this video and pinned in the comment to find out more details. I hope to meet you. The next layout option can work well in both closed and open kitchens as well, though it normally needs a little bit larger of a space to be effective. Surrounding yourself with cabinets and appliances in a U-shaped kitchen offers lots of benefits. For one, more cabinets, and more cabinets equals more storage and potentially more counter space. The lack of these two things alone makes up 95% of kitchen complaints. Creating a kitchen triangle or flow while solving these two issues is a great 2-for-1 deal. Be sure to make all of this storage accessible as possible, and your U-shaped kitchen will be a joy to work in, especially if there's multiple cooks, because a U-shaped layout offers more clearance, thus making it easier for 2 or more people to move around in. Creating well-defined work zones can also be less of a challenge depending on how you design the space. And depending on the size of your room, there is also the possibility to add an island or a peninsula as well, with many U-shaped kitchens also embracing that open concept design choice separated by the island or peninsula. You'll want to be careful when planning a U-shape, as you can easily space out key tasks, making them less efficient. Unless you're trying to get your daily 10,000 steps while you prepare a meatloaf, the amount of walking around in a U-shaped kitchen may be too much for your liking. As with any layout, it's all in the prep and planning. Now, if you don't like the corner cabinet in an L shape, you're really going to hate this because you have 2 of them now. My previous advice should always be followed to pay special attention to the corners when planning their function. And if you don't have the proper area, a U-shaped kitchen can feel too condensed, giving rise to appliance door issues and work zone conflict. Now, just because you have 3 walls to put cabinets on doesn't mean that you should. However, I should note that smaller U-shaped kitchens can really benefit by adding shallow storage on one of those walls. This still allows reasonable clearance, but gains tons of extra easy to access storage, which is a benefit. All aboard! This next layout gets its name and design from the ocean, as you'll find this style floating around on boats all over the world. The galley is a back-to-back wall kitchen. For those who have space limitations, this layout can be ideal. Creating an efficient workflow is pretty seamless, with either the fridge and range on one wall with sink on the other, or sink and one appliance on one wall and the other appliance on the other wall. For those looking for more accessible storage, the galley can easily provide that, with storage in front and directly behind you in many design layouts. And the big benefit with the galley is, yes, no corners. No need for excessively expensive inserts or wasted space. The maximum capacity of your cabinets can be realized in a galley. While the galley layout is great for smaller spaces, you will need to be careful with clearances, especially if the kitchen also serves as a walk-through area into other rooms, which most galleys do. The normal kitchen clearances can feel a bit too tight in a galley. Now, my recommendation is a clearance of 60 inches between countertop surfaces in a galley kitchen. And this might sound excessive because that would mean that the walls are like 9 feet apart, giving ample room for an L-shape or even a small U-shape design. But at 60 inches, you create more space for walk-through traffic, as well as appliance doors and multiple cooks. Now, you may not have any control over this, so at a minimum, if you can keep a 42-inch clearance, that would also work. You'll also have to watch your fridge depth, as a standard fridge can make the galley feel very compact. Opting for a counter depth fridge might be a good option. Normally a galley would not have an island. However, peninsulas are very common in galleys where one wall is cut down or the kitchen extends past the wall. And this allows for more social experience for those who want to incorporate that open concept aspect of other layouts. Plus, this can add extra counter and storage to the space as well. Galley kitchens are not usually great for Instagram, so if your focus is on the visual wow factor of your kitchen's aesthetic, the galley might give you some trouble in capturing that. However, if you just want a really functional space to do all your cooking in, then this will work just fine. Some homes only have one wall that a kitchen can go on, and so we call that the one-wall kitchen. Very unique, I know. While one-wall kitchens can seem limiting, they actually offer a ton of function, especially when paired with an island. But even without an island, the compact nature of a one-wall kitchen is perfect for some homes. While you abandon the work triangle idea, it doesn't mean that there isn't great flow. If you're a single user of a one-wall kitchen, the absence of a triangle is not even noticeable. It's when there's more than one user that things can get hectic. As with the galley, we have another great layout contender with no corners, making use of all the available space much more efficiently. The one-wall kitchen really shines if you have the ability to add an island. This gives you options for sink placement, sometimes cooktop placement too, but I don't recommend that. You can create more efficient flow for task purposes like prepping and cleaning. This obviously plays into the open concept vibe, with the intention to create a more aesthetic wow factor with the design elements. So creating symmetry on a one-wall kitchen is a little bit easier because of the lack of corners. For larger families without the island, this layout can be very frustrating to work in and can require some advanced choreography lessons to maneuver around each other to use the space. Sounds like fun, actually. But this is definitely something to be aware of. With an included island, the one-wall kitchen is much more functional. But I resist the urge to put the sink or cooktop in that island whenever possible. There's nothing better than a nice big massive island work surface to play with. If it's unavoidable or just makes more sense to put the sink in it, just make sure you create ample depth for the inevitable splashing of water. I strongly discourage putting a cooktop on an island in any layout because installing adequate ventilation is often challenging. Plus, if the island also has seating, it can be messy or even dangerous due to boilovers or grease splashing when cooking. Just be aware of the options when you're designing this scenario. All of these layout options can be great, but there's one that I think could be the most functional of all. It borrows aspects from all of these layouts, but you won't find it named anywhere on the internet. I think whoever first designed this style either was a genius or made a really great functional accident. It's been unnamed until now, so I can't wait to introduce you to what I call the detached L shape, or the separated U, or the galley with a twist. I like that one. This layout, which pairs well with a walk-in pantry or door to an adjacent room, has some of the best aspects of all the layouts. No corners, what more could you ask for? L-shaped workflow, U-shaped capacity, one wall efficiency, and galley accessibility. It has multiple access points, flexibility in appliance placement, easy island addition, open or close concept application. It allows for aesthetic and symmetrical appeal and could be the most functional kitchen layout possible. If you are building or have a lot of flexibility in your renovation, this layout should be the first on your list. Galley with a twist. Now the cold hard truth is you can pick any of these layouts and still have a dysfunctional mess of a kitchen. This video will walk you through my 5-step framework to make sure that doesn't happen to you.